Hello everyone. Today I would like to present the Simile Builder, an approach developed to help students create meaningful similes through the Attribute Association Technique, or AAT. The technique consists of two components, an infographic poster and a worksheet. The poster serves as a visual guide, while the worksheet provides structured practice for students to apply the technique. The infographic poster introduces the concept of similes and the Simile Builder formula. It reminds students that an effective simile is based on a shared attribute between two things and that the comparison should be logical and meaningful. The poster also provides examples and useful tips to help students understand how meaningful similes are constructed before they begin the worksheet activities. Now, I will begin the demonstration of how to work this worksheet. Let's go through it one by one. In Part A, Attribute Detective, students analyze existing similes and identify the attribute shared by both items being compared. For example, in the sentence, "The moon is as bright as the sun," students identify bright as the shared attribute and explain why the comparison works. This activity helps students understand that similes are based on common characteristics rather than random comparisons. In Part B, Association Challenge, once students understand attributes, they move to Part B. Students are given an attribute such as quiet, fast, or strong. They must brainstorm 3 possible comparisons for each attribute and then choose the most suitable one. Most importantly, students must justify their choice. This activity develops associative thinking because students learn that there can be multiple possible comparisons for the same attribute. In Part C, choose the best comparison. Students evaluate different comparison options and select the most effective one. For example, students decide whether an athlete should be compared to a turtle, a snail, or a cheetah. They then explain their reasoning. This encourages students to think critically about the quality and effectiveness of similes rather than simply creating them. In Part D, Simile Builder Lab. Part D is the core activity of the worksheet. Students apply the Simile Builder formula by following 5 steps. First, identify a subject. Second, determine its attribute. Third, choose an appropriate comparison. Fourth, build the simile using like or as. Finally, justify why the comparison works. This guided process helps students construct meaningful similes systematically.
In Part E, students are presented with weak or less effective similes. Their task is to improve the similes by choosing a more suitable comparison and explaining why the new version is better. This activity strengthens students' ability to evaluate and refine figurative language. Meanwhile, in Part F, students assess their own similes using a checklist. They consider questions such as: do both things share the same attribute? Is the comparison logical? Does the simile create a clear image? Can I explain why it works? So this part encourages self-assessment and reflection. In Part G, students compare 2 similes and decide which one is more effective. In this part, they must justify their answers and suggest an even better comparison if possible. This higher order thinking skills activity encourages evaluation, reasoning, and also creativity. In the last part, students independently create their own simile using the simile builder formula. In this part, they identify a subject, attribute, and comparison before constructing the simile and providing a justification. This part serves as the culmination of the learning process. This allows students to demonstrate their understanding independently. So, in conclusion, the simile builder technique helps students move beyond simply using the words like and as through attribute and identification, association, evaluation, and also justification. Students learn how to create meaningful and logical similes while developing creativity and higher order thinking skills. Thank you.